I had to record this 3 times. The first 2 times, the words felt too clinical, too distant. But tonight, fate wants you to hear this exactly as it is. You're probably watching this alone. Maybe it's late. Maybe you're sitting on the edge of the bed, listening to the steady, familiar breathing of the person you love, yet feeling a profound, echoing silence between you. The glow of a phone screen is the only light in the room. You look at them, and a quiet, heavy realization settles in your chest. Why does this keep happening? Is this just what long-term relationships feel like? Do I still love them? Or have I just gotten used to them? Am I the problem? Here is the bold, counterintuitive truth you need to hear right now. You don't drift apart because you stopped caring. You drift apart because you stopped being curious about each other. The relationship didn't get harder because your love faded. It got harder because your safety did. Honestly, you need to hear this. You are not failing at love. This is not a sign that you chose the wrong person. Every couple that has ever truly loved each other has stood exactly where you are standing right now. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what is happening beneath the surface of this silence, and you will know the precise emotional shift required to turn this distance back into deep, unshakable connection. Let's get into it. Most couples believe that when the spark fades, or when arguments become circular and exhausting, it means the relationship is fundamentally broken, or that they have simply outgrown each other. But the real truth is that when safety leaves a relationship, the love doesn't disappear. It goes underground. Your partner's nervous system is reading you before their mind can even catch up. What looks like stonewalling, coldness, or indifference is usually someone who has been so emotionally overwhelmed for so long that silence is the only protection they have left. When you try harder to fix the problem without first changing the emotional tone, a disconnected partner will only withdraw further. Their nervous system in a conflict is like a smoke detector. It cannot tell the difference between your partner raising their voice and actual physical danger. So, it sounds the alarm regardless. This isn't incompatibility. It is the anxious avoidance cycle playing out between two people who both actually want the exact same thing, to feel safe enough to be seen again. Real repair is not louder conversations, not more compromising, not scheduling a weekly check-in. It is two people who actually feel safe enough to be honest with each other for the first time in years. Let's talk about what I call the fine trap. Here's the thing. Most couples fall into the pattern of asking, "Are we okay?" and accepting, "Yeah, I'm fine," as the final answer, mistaking the absence of conflict for the presence of connection. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Beneath the surface, this is a nervous system defense mechanism. They feel the tension, but bringing it up feels like stepping on a landmine. So they choose the safety of superficial peace over the risk of real repair. Emotional distance in a relationship isn't like a wall. It's like scar tissue that forms slowly over 100 small moments that never got repaired. Disconnecting looks like this. You seem quiet. Are you mad? No, I'm fine. The conversation ends, walls go up. But connecting looks like this. You seem quiet. I'm not trying to fix anything. I just want to know what's moving through you right now. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. This brings us to the power of micro moments over grand gestures. Most people in relationships wait for a vacation, an anniversary, or a massive romantic gesture to rebuild intimacy, believing connection requires a grand stage. But intimacy isn't built in the big moments. It's built in the 30-second ones, when you choose to look up. Your nervous system registers safety in the mundane, unspoken bids for attention. Disconnecting is when your partner shares a small win. You nod while scrolling, thinking you'll celebrate with them later. Connecting is when you put the phone face down, make eye contact, and say, "Tell me more about that." That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. Then there is the art of decoding the withdrawal. Most couples interpret a partner pulling away as a personal rejection, which triggers a frantic, anxious chase for reassurance. Here's the part no one talks about. Withdrawal is rarely about you. It is an overwhelmed nervous system hitting its limit. They aren't pulling away from your love. They are pulling away from the pressure they feel they can't meet. Disconnecting sounds like, "Why are you ignoring me? You never want to talk anymore." Connecting sounds like, "I can see you need some space right now. I'm going to be in the other room whenever you're ready to reconnect." Something in him is saying, "She doesn't need me to fix this. She just needs me to stay." And that's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. You also have to master the soft startup. Most couples believe that if they just phrase their complaints calmly or logically, their partner will finally understand and change. But here's what nobody explains. Criticism always feels like rejection to the person receiving it, even when it's delivered calmly. Their brain is quietly registering, "I am not enough for them." And here's what changes everything. This isn't a communication hack. This is just what two emotionally mature people naturally do when they prioritize the bond over being right. Disconnecting is saying, "You never help around the house. It's so frustrating." Connecting is saying, "I've been feeling really overwhelmed lately, and I could really use your help with the dishes tonight." Her brain is quietly registering, "He actually heard me this time." And that is the foundation of real, lasting repair. Finally, we have to start naming the longing. Most people in relationships avoid talking about their deeper needs because they fear it will sound needy, demanding, or too vulnerable. This is where it gets really interesting. Vulnerability is the exact currency of being emotionally available. When you voice your unspoken longing, you aren't giving your partner a burden. You are giving them a map to your heart. Disconnecting is suffering in silence, hoping they will magically notice you're sad. Connecting is saying, "I've been missing us lately. I just really want to feel close to you again." What's moving through her is, "I forgot how good it feels to be chosen." And that is the exact shift that transforms a drifting relationship into a deeply bonded one. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to show up differently. And that changes everything about what's possible between you and the person you chose. When you internalize this, you stop reacting and start responding. Your partner will feel the difference before you've even said a word. These aren't tips for a better relationship. They're the beginning of becoming the kind of partner you always wanted someone to be for you. If this resonated with you tonight, take a deep breath. You are not alone in this. Turning toward each other starts with a single, brave choice. Remember this, real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become one. I'll see you in the next one.